In this video, I'll be breaking down an SMMA offer that not only can get you more booked appointments, but also does not require any kind of guarantee and no risk from your end. Hi guys, my name is Rishav and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, the objective is to break down an SMMA offer that I was using a couple of months ago. This was the best offer that I've come up with till now because of two reasons. Number one, because out of all the offers that I have ever tried, this one helped me book the most number of appointments. And number two, this is a very beginner friendly SMMA offer and it does not involve any crazy guarantee or any risk from your end. There are two chains of thoughts when it comes to SMMA offers. One is asking for a fixed monthly retainer and the other is asking for payment based on results. So when it comes to fixed monthly retainers, your risk is absolutely limited, but the client's risk is really high. So that is why it is very difficult for you to get clients on a monthly fixed retainer, especially if you're a beginner. But when it comes to pay-per results, the client's risk is really low, but your risk is very high. So if you're a beginner and you don't know what you're doing, it's very hard to come up with a pay-per result offer. So when I was running my SMMA a few months ago, I was trying to experiment with different offers and I came up with something that not only limits the client's risk because they are paying based on only the results that they are getting, but also it limits my risk so that, I'm not risking my own money in terms of generating those kind of results. So usually how a paper result or a paper lead or a paper appointment offer works is you'll ask a client for a certain amount. Let's say you ask them for $50 for every lead that you generate. And with that, they give you a lump sum of money for 20 leads or 10 leads, for example. So if they pay you for 20 leads, they pay you $1,000. And with that $1,000, your aim is to generate 20 leads with anything under 1,000. And if you do that, you're basically making money. The only way you can do that is if you're sure about the results. And a lot of beginners, when they're doing SMMA, you're not sure about the results. And even if you're doing it for a while, if the client is targeting a different geographical location that you've never ran ads in, or the client is targeting a very small geographical location, then this offer becomes really risky from your end. So let's break down what my offer was and how it counters these problems. So here are some basic components of a dream offer for a person starting out their SMMA. And now once again, if you're doing it for a while, there are much better offers that you can come up with. But if you're just starting out, I think this offer will make a lot of sense. So the two components of a dream beginner offer would be, one, it should be pay-per results, pay based on results. And the second would be that it should be limited risk for yourself. And the way you achieve that is through charging your clients based on results, but asking them to pay for the ads. So let me break this down. So the way I did it is I used to ask them for a setup fee. And the setup fee could be anywhere from $500 to $2,000, depending on the number of testimonials that you have in your website. So you ask them for one-time setup fee, and after that, you give them a certain stipulation and you tell them they need to spend at least $2,000 on ads, or sometimes it could be $1,500 to $2,000 a month on ad spend. So this is the stipulation. This is the criteria that they need to meet. And after that, you tell them that instead of charging a monthly retainer for, running the ads, optimizing the ads, creating a landing page, and etc., what you do is you only charge them based on the results that they get once they spend $1,500 or $2,000. So the results can be based on two criteria. It can either be leads, or of course it can either be appointments. Now, if you're doing leads, it's easier to generate leads, but it'll be difficult to get the clients because no one cares about leads these days. Everyone wants appointments. And if you're doing appointments, it'll be very easy to get clients, but it will be difficult to do the service delivery because getting appointments is very difficult, and getting appointments to show up, especially if it's a virtual meeting, it's even more difficult. So you'll probably need to tie up with a call center or have a system in place where the leads are being followed up again and again, and you're actually manually calling these leads up in order to make sure that they show up to the appointment. So if you're doing the leads method, you could ask anywhere from $30 to $50 per lead from the client. And if you're doing appointments, you could charge anywhere from $120 to $200 per appointment. Now, when I say per lead and per appointment, all this and this does not include the ad spend. So the ad spend is of the client, so you're not risking anything. You're not guaranteeing them unachievable results. All you're doing is working for them for basically free, and you're asking them to pay you a little bit of money once you get certain results that you've already pre-discussed with the client. So it could be leads or it could be appointments. So the way I structured my deal earlier was I was asking them for a $500 setup fee. I was going from anywhere from $500 to $1,500 in setup fee. And sometimes they negotiate, sometimes I was giving them a 50% off, but the minimum would have been a $500 setup fee. And with that setup fee, it took care of all the commission that I had to pay to the appointment setters. So for example, if you have appointment setter or appointment setting agency that is working for you, out of the 500 or out of the 1,000 setup fee, you can pay them $1,000. Sorry, you can pay them 10% or 20%, whatever you've discussed. I used to pay them 20%. So if I got a client for $1,000 setup fee, I used to pay $200 to the appointment setter. And the reason I did 20% because I want the appointment setters to be motivated, and there are a lot of agencies doing 10 to 15%. So in order to get the good appointment setters, I had to pay them more. And 20% is more than enough. Everyone was happy working with me. There are two reasons why you take a setup fee. One is because you need to pay the appointment setter. And the other reason is because you need a client who will actually pay you money. So there are a lot of people out there who will get all the work done, but when it comes to payment, they'll be like, hey, no, I'm not happy with the results, or they'll make some kind of excuse. So it's very important you get a client who actually pays you something. Even if it's not $500 setup fee, at least $300, at least something. Get the initial payment from the client, and that is extremely, extremely important. So after collecting the setup fee from my clients, I would create the ads for them, create a landing page and all that good stuff. And when it comes to charging for the leads or appointments that you have not yet generated but you are about to generate, there are two ways to do that. One is asking them to prepay for the leads and appointments, and option B would be to charge them as and when leads generate. So prepay is very simple. You basically ask them to prepay for 10 leads or 20 leads, and once you deliver those 20 leads, you can ask them to prepay again for the next 20 leads. So let's say you're selling leads for $50 plus ad spend. You would ask them to pay you for 20 leads, that's $1,000. Once the 20 leads have been generated from your end, you would ask them to pay for another 20, and it'll go on again and again like this. The other way, and this is what I used to do, because I want to limit the risk of the client as much as possible and make them as comfortable as possible. So what I used to do is I used to tell them that I'm going to save the card info in my Stripe account of the setup fee that you've paid me, and this was all written in the contract, so they were very well aware of that. And as and when the leads were generated, I used to create an automation on Go High Level. It was a very simple automation in which it was like a new lead is generated, then charge the client's card for $50. So as and when the leads used to be generated, I used to charge them $50 or $60 or whatever the criteria that we have discussed. So this used to do one of two things. One is that it made the client really comfortable, And secondly, I did not have to go ahead and run behind the client for the payments. And another thing that it did, it was only $50 or $60 being charged at a time, and every person who worked in this offer with me was really comfortable. Another thing that I'd like to mention is that if you create an offer which guarantees appointments instead of leads, you are going to get ton of clients. And I did this for a while, but I did not have a system to call these leads up and book appointments for them. And even with my small team, when we were calling them, it was very difficult because the moment they heard our accents, they were quite skeptical. So I did appointments for a while, but then I changed it to just pay per lead. And the reason why I'm sharing all this is because I've stopped running this offer, and I've moved on to something else. But I can tell you, in my 1 year of SMMA journey, this was the offer that gave me the highest number of booked appointments. And it was so fast that people were just lining up for after they heard that I can get them appointments for $120 or $150 plus ad spend. And they were very, very excited about it. So let me just summarize the offer that we spoke about. Basically, what you want to do is you want to charge a setup fee for $500 to $1,000. Let's take 1,000 as an example. $1,000 setup fee. Then you want to charge based on the results. So you want to charge, let's take $120 plus ad spend for every appointment. Or you can write it as $120 per appointment, excluding ad spend. Or you could do $40 per lead, excluding ad spend. And it is very important that you mention that it is excluding ad spend. So they need to have an ad budget of around $1,500 to $2,000 a month. This not only works for you as a beginner SMMA owner, but it also works for your client, because let's say, for example, you're able to generate 10 appointments at $120, then you actually make $1,200. And in this offer, you don't have to guarantee these crazy results and money back guarantee or stuff like that. All you have to say is that, hey, I'm a beginner, but I'm only asking you for money if I deliver results. And the only thing that you're risking is this setup fee, which is $500 or $1,000. And if you want to remove the setup fee, you can do that as well, but I do not recommend it. At least charge $300 to $500 as setup fee, because if you need clients who are actually serious and will actually pay you money. So if you generate 10 appointments, you get $1,200. But let's say if you're not able to generate 10 appointments, you're only able to generate 5 appointments at $120, you get $600, which is still good. So this was an offer that I had been running for around 1 or 2 months, and it did really, really well. And I think, if you're struggling with coming up with an offer, and if you're tired with, promising these vague results to clients of 30 appointments or your money back, or 20 appointments or your money back, these are outrageous claims. And a person who's actually run an SMA will understand that things don't work like that. So if you want an offer which is beginner friendly and also limits not only your risk and also the client's risk, I think you can actually try this out with your SMMA. And when you do, just come back to this YouTube video and leave a comment, and I'll definitely read those comments and check what's happening with this offer. That was today's video. I really hope you found this valuable, and if you did, I would be extremely grateful if you would like the video and subscribe to my channel for more helpful tips just like this.